Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks. So let's start with the first presentation. So I think I would like to introduce what is retailing all about. Everyone has some or other point been into the retail store and understand what from retail is. State of business activities that add value to the product and services sold to the consumer for their personal or family use. Two things to notice here: the retailer is one thing that adds value to the product or services and sells it to consumer. So one is quite here to notice that I'm selling it to the consumer who would primarily use for their family or personal use. Second thing, adding value. So he's buying in the bulk and putting down into the small quantities and selling it to the customer. It's called the process called the retailing. And when these houses are involved into that activity, it's called retailers. To name, you must have heard or seen into the few of the India, like the Shopify Stop, the Bazaar, Hyper City. So these are some of the retailers. Is how retailers are adding value. Okay, when we think, okay, as a retail customer, we think, okay, they are buying it from some stores or some suppliers. They are putting it. Retailers are putting the products on their shelf and they are just selling it to us. But it's much more than that. How they are adding the value into the product, and this value they are passing us to you. So how adding the value, like providing assortment. So when you go into the big bazaar, you find thousands of SKU at a single place. So they buy different type of assortment for to purchase. So you every single place, or you don't need to go to different shops to buy that. They are the bulk. If you want to buy a single soap, you do that. You don't need to buy, okay, every time don't need to buy a bulk, a case or a inner, or I would say the 12 pack. It's up to you how you want to buy it. So that flexibility they are giving, the retailers are giving to the customer, holding inventory. So at a convenience place where you want it. Wherever, whatever quantity you want to buy, retailers are offering to the customers. So they are inventorying, they are holding the inventory for the customer. So this is another point where they are adding values. Offering services. So for example, if we buy from the retailer, they are giving us the credit, giving us the layaway. Layaway is something like if money at one point, you can start, okay, I start paying 1,100 rupees per month, and when this different EMI. So kind of facilities, the EMI, the credit, the different options to buy, quantity to buy, services. So these are the things retailers adding to the product and they are passing to us. One example I have taken in the like if you see these boxes, think about a doll that a person is going to buy. So in the several styles. Okay, there will be number of versions of a single doll in the different colors and the different sizes. Dominant location and the quantities of one. If a person want to buy a doll nearby his home, he can go to the store, can buy it. So a retailer can have a different multiple locations. And if you want to buy a single doll, yes, you can do that. You don't need to buy 10 or 15 balls. There's no limitation on that. Feature on the floor display. Then all can be bought on the credit or put on only layaway. So there are a few of the things actually I just put down one example so that we can easily connect before getting into the deeper into the detail. Yeah, so anytime, any disturbance, any feedback, I would always be open for that to improve the training quality. So just just write it down in the chat box. I'll follow that. Any questions, I would request we'll take it at the end of the session, so it would be easy to maintain the flow. Another question when we think about the retail is that what is the difference between retailers or any other manufacturing house? Okay, so that there is a different supply chain, there is a different value chain for the manufacturers, but still, most of retail business are like manufacturers, have same department that a manufacturers follow. So when I talk about probably they are not holding the raw material, they are not retailers are not processing them, they are not converting them into the finished product, but still the other supply chain or other part of the value chain is what retailers are following like a manufacturers. So they the accounting department, financial department, marketing department, operations, and it's called a management information system that helps the managers to take the decision, analytics is something like that, and the human resources. So most of the part here and there are like the manufacturers. There is no big difference when we talk about the departments or the operational activities. So let's to come to the exactly the world of retailing. Now we are much like in the situation. Is it the same like when we think about? I remember when I was a kid, I was thinking, okay, if I go to the store, then I'm thinking, okay, they are buying it from a supplier, they are putting in the shelf and selling it to me. But when I get into the retail, I started working for different clients. I came to know how complex retail business is all about. One example, you think from retailer's perspective, if I clean shampoo, plus shampoo comes in the 15 different variants in the quantity, different multiple supplier for the same product in the different region. For example, HUL, one distributor is giving me in Andhra Pradesh, another one is giving me in Karnataka, MP, different parts. So there could be multiple suppliers or supplier sites. Apart different multiple stores where I want to put this Clinic Plus for my I need to maintain the different quantities stock. So multiple locations, multiple suppliers, multiple variants. So all this actually makes retail very complex. Okay, so what is steelers are dealing with it? They are making the profit. They are serving us very well. How at it? Like now, retail is a high-tech business. It's not like we see in the mom and pop store where they are maintaining the manually. It is becoming very global in high-tech. You know, that they make day to day. It is becoming based on the technology. RPs they follow, the analytics they follow, the predictive analysis system they follow, the forecast sales, and on the basis of historical data. So it is becoming high-tech. So communication in the information system. So think about the level of communication we need between the suppliers and the buyers, between merchandisers in stores, between the sales marketing department to the customers. So it is very sophisticated in communication. Information flow needed between the all channels of educational experience to the customer. It is reading is becoming experience. It is not that simple. Okay, we are not going there only to buy a product. It is there so that we can enjoy the shopping. I know many of, if any one of you have been to the Hamlet, that is newly entered or the toy retail chain in India. Or another example, if you have heard about the Decathlon, it's a sports seller. So how if you go into the retail shop, you can use their product. If you want to buy a cycle, you can drive the cycle in their store. If you want to buy, I would say the racket, tennis racket, they are giving you one racket, just go outside, play for some time, and then if you like, then don't buy it. So this is how it is changing. They are making it educational experience for them. Has to rethink again. Like I'm sure, like because many of you heard about the Subiksha. This there are multiple stores who could not think or change with this and are now closed. Same time, the number of mom and pop stores are becoming changing every day. probably the way you must have looked at your nearby mom and pop store. Like mom and pop store is the technology actually to make it more like it is the nearby retail store, grocery store. Now they started using the technology. Probably before they used to be giving you the bill like handmade bill. Them up with the inventory management system, they are giving you the print out of the bill. So you start thinking that those doesn't go with the flow has to come out of the market. So still there are multiple going on here and there, and retail are getting that, and if you are not still thinking to get into that, will come. I just need like feedback. Probably if I started speaking and people are not getting that, then it is not worth for you and me. So just keep right if it is going well. Then as I said, how complex the supply chain. So with that, into the deeper of retail stores, high level, the world of retailing, how complex it is, but around how it is. Kind of retail stores we have. What are the formats we as a what the retailer follows? So then is done into two parts. The first one is store-based retailing and non-store-based retailing. Self-explanatory. Let's get into that quite quicker. So non-store retailing is something okay. As a user, as a customer, I'm not getting into the retail shop. For example, you might be getting the direct selling mail, telephone marketing, or vending machines where you just put the money and you get the product out. So non-store retail where there is no presence of the physical stores. Another is store-based retailing. That our like more focus coming into the part of different part of the presentation. So space again is divided into two part. One is form of ownership and kind of merchandising they are offered, and based on the sizes of the retail stores or the look or feel or visually appeals. So different another types of under the merchandising offered. So form ownership is something okay. You say the independent retailer. More like our near grocery shop, they don't have a chain of retail store. They own only one or two retail stores, and they are the owner. They are running it. Chains, Net, Big Bazaar, Shopper Stop, Reliance Digital, Reliance Retail, Vijay Sales, and all this. These are the retail chains. You may find it in different part of India. Retail chain like Walmart, we have a Target, we have Kohls. So the retail chain that is around over the world. Okay, retailing we talk about when we have a we got a these are the franchise retail, or apart from this there are multiple garment retails who take franchising from master franchisee and open their own stores in store somewhere where they want to open. Department stores are there, and we got a consumer cooperative shops. It is more of government owned grocery shops. Also retailer, but the ownership is completely different, right? So not talk much about that. We'll talk about the different formats. What retail is good trend in the retail. I got a question. Can you just take a note? I will definitely answer the end of the session. So you can just repeat the same question. So next thing is merchandise offer. So here come the actual organized retail object we want to learn into this presentations. So there are formats of retail that is a decision that a high level management takes. So formats like the convenience store, supermarkets, hypermarkets, specialty stores, departmental stores. So let's get into that quite. Convenience store, I would take an example of more. The size of a store is quite simpler, and it is you can find this store 20. So more one is more. Then we got a Reliance, Fresh. These are the stores they are offering a very limited quantity, very limited assortment, but consumers the nearby locality should buy them. Hi, don't mute. I see someone is just saying. Take example of a big bazaar. They offer a large variety, large assortment. They play with the different categories. Started from electronics, general merchandising, fruits, vegetables, grocery. They offer a large variety of products. Size quite huge, like 1 lakh to 1,50,000, 1,50,000 square feet, kind of that. Hypermarket, we can take the example of hypermarket. It is another format of hypermarket. Specialty store, as I named, Decathlon, these are kind of retailers who are dealing with the only specialized product. They are not offering a wide assortment or wide variety, but they are offering, for example, Hamleys is a tie shop, it is a shop, and they are giving you the only toys. But the variety and assortment that you find in the shop, it would be huge. Okay, Decathlon, you will get almost everything when it comes to the gadget. But if you go into the hyper city, you will find grows multiple different things. So they're different between the hypermarket, supermarkets, and the specialty stores. Department stores is something like they are more into the apparel or lifestyle segment. So we have Shopper Store, we have Pantaloons, we have Max, we have Global. The department stores. Okay. So this is not a strategy that retailers follow. So off-price retailers are like discounted retailers who give the very high discount to the consumer. So Walmart is one of the example that is the off-price retailers. Factory outlets, no need to say, in catalog showrooms. So there's so many retailers who actually not selling their product. They display the product for the customer orientation and try to compete with the product they are offering. So every has come up with the catalog showroom, or there are multiple bathroom manufacturing companies. So probably if you want to buy, you need to go to the distributor or the retailer, but they are opening their own showrooms where you can have a look at. Hope everything is quite good and you got a good understanding of the classification of it. So come to the India, we have a good understanding what is going on in India. Like what retail is doing in India. What is the turnover, how organized percentage and unorganized percentage. So let's get into bit to understand. So this would be helpful for you not only to understand the retailing world, but also from the career perspective. Are we into the right domain? Should we go into that, and which are the options are available to make our career? So it is growing very fast, very. So India sector, considering about the retail sector, it is one of the most potential sector to attract investors. The last fiscal there were changes in the FTA policy as well. So now we have a single brand for the single brand outlet like Reebok or Nike. They can 100% FDI for them, and the 50% FDI policy for the multi-brand stores like for example, Walmart's come for the retail. So there are two different things. We'll come to that. So there is a B2B business and B2C. So 51% is what we are talking about, the B2C. So retailer is selling to the customer. Okay. So India has occupied a remarkable position in global ranking. The country has highest market potential, low economic risk, and moderate political risk. Two factors actually retailers, when they want to come in India, they want to invest, they always think economic and political risk, and we are really doing very well from one perspective. Market potential, India ranks 11th after United States, China, Canada, UK, Brazil, Germany, Austria, and Mexico. Indian net retail sales are quite significant among emerging and the developed nations. And the country is ranked 3rd after China and Brazil. Okay, so if I do overview, it is not there in the PPT, but like the total Indian market is around $600 billion. That's dollar. That is, I think I've covered this in the next slide. We'll talk about that. That would be quite good, I believe. Okay, so top organized in the unorganized sector. So if we talk about total retail sector is divided in two parts. So 92% of the retail is still unorganized. Intent of the retail is organized. So what is the difference between organized and unorganized? I think you can easily find out. So near home, mom and pop, brick and mortar stores. These are, they don't have the vision. They're just going with the flow. They buy it. They're not adding much value to the product. They're not offering the service and experiences. So there are a few level things actually that differ organized to unorganized retailer. So here playing, my objective is not to get into the unorganized. We'll talk about how organized retail is doing, how to have a good understanding on the organized retail penetration. So it is 8%, and you see the growth. We are still like 92% is there. Talk about the developed country, they are still 60 to 70% organized retail is there. So one of the point that still number of national players are coming, thinking to come in India because of this very lowest penetration into organized domain.
But can you please explain in the detail what you mean by the organized and unorganized means here? Are you referring to the categorization of that objects into some different category? Yes.
So if you give me time, like I have a presentation where we would clearly point out what do we mean by the organized retail. So I'll answer that.
Or in some other session.
Today only. Okay. So drivers, what is the demand drivers for organized retail? So one, disposable income is keep increasing for the individuals in India. Urbanization is very rapidly growing. Okay, aspirations are going as we see that IT industry is doing very well and people are earning a good amount, and people who are earning good, they have a higher aspiration and they are like expecting more. So the demand drivers, credit availability, now it is not that tough. People are having the credit card, they can buy the product on the EMI. Loans are very easily available. So these are the demand drivers actually. That is few of the reasons why India is expecting a growth in the organized retail. First, we talk about number of retailers. If you follow the FDA, like how it is coming into the India every single day, okay, one or another retailer is coming. A glance of the existing, both number of retailers are closing their shops, but on their side, if they are having a good strategy, they are expanding into the different part of India. In structural addition, numbers available, this available within the malls is keep increasing the total square feet. That is prompting retailers to open their stores in the different cities, from tier 2 to tier 2 and tier 3 cities in the categories. Let's talk about some facts and figures that I was about to talk in the previous presentations. So think in retail market is expected to nearly double to $1 trillion by 2020 from $100 billion currently in 2050. Okay, so like of $600 billion, if I talk about, like if we are 8% is organized retail, it is around $48 billion is the total value of organized retail, and the rest around $550 is into the unorganized retail. So it is expected to grow at the 12% per annum. Moderate would expand twice as far as 20% per annum, and the traditional trade at 10%. So modern trade, like we call it organized retail, that is growing. We are expecting it to grow at the rate of 20% per annum. In the top 7 cities, Indian cities accounted for $5 trillion Indian rupees, around $3.7 billion, with organized retail penetration at 19%. So Indian tier 1 cities, the penetration of organized retail is quite high, but when we go to the tier 2, tier 3 cities, the penetration of the retail, organized retail is quite lower side. So there's a chance of opening new stores. Expected to become the world's fastest growing e-commerce market, driven investment in the sector and the rapid increase in the number of internet. So I sure like you must heard about how the e-commerce is doing in India. I myself was not able to, like, when 5 year or 6 year back when I wanted to do the online shopping, I never, it was quite apprehensive. I don't want like to risk, but now it is becoming the habit. So how it is changed? This is another trend that is going on in India. Okay, now players like Snapdeal, Flipkart, Paytm are expanding their options very, very rapidly. So that's an opportunity to attend, like for the Indian retailers to get into that. We talk about few of the things like e-commerce and the omni-channel retailing. Later we go with the presentations either today or like on the other part. So the Indian e-commerce sales expected to reach 55 billion. $14 billion as of now by 2015. So there is a lots of opportunities for the retailers to grow. These are trends actually we have taken from the different research done by the few premium consulting firms. In e-commerce market to expected to grow by $230 billion in terms of the gross merchandise value. So that is not the turnover, that is the value, the gross merchandise value that would be available for the consumer to buy. That would be around $220 billion by the end of 2025. And customer base is also expected to increase by 530 billion. That is around 50 billion now. So let's get into deeper into the what are the retail categories are available. Okay, when we think about the retail, there are predominant categories. Okay, the first, like few of the apparel retailing, hard consumer electronics, department stores, it's called do it yourself, drug stores, mass merchandisers, service restaurants like KFC and McD. Professional services are all considered into the retailing, retailers, supermarket retailers, or grocery stores. These are the, we talk about, think about any of the retailer worldwide, it mostly come into this, out of these 10 categories. So most organized retailer, to be more specific, is into somewhere around in this 10 categories. So I would not explain every single categories. I think let's take few of this, like what is the hard line of consumer electronics. As example, like we have Reliance Digital, we have retailers or the retailers those retailers who are dealing with the consumer electronics. Okay, it comes into or the store is or retailers, those may specialize in sporting goods, toys, jewelry, music, or off products come into the hardline or consumer electronics category. Dip stores, for example, as I said, Shopper Stop or Next or dealers. So these are the stores sell a variety of everyday products, including clothing, electronics, home furnishing, and cosmetics come into the department store category. Do self is I doubt that India actually we are having number of retailers into this category. Plus, if you go North America or Southern America, you find number of retailers into that category. So it is kind of retailers those sell materials necessary to complete home improvement or the construction projects. So we most call it a hardware shop kind of retail stores. So not much of the organized retailers, but of the category we have in retail. The mass merchandisers or the discount retailers. So merchandisers or a discount retailers offer a wide range of product categories, appliances, clothing, furniture, equipment, and stationery. They sell large quantities of goods quickly through such means as a discounting, customer self-service, and display in the packaging. So, for example, we have a in India, we have a merchandisers or discounters, a big bazaar. Hi, can you hear me? I just heard that I lost the video. Is it okay now? Hi. So, see, let's talk about the four key retail segments. So, out of this, actually, most of the retail is segmented. Most of the retailers is either into the soft lines, apparel retailing, they are consumer electronics, or hard lines, to the mass merchandising discounters, and into the supermarket or grocery store. These are the four key retail segments that are there. Most of the retailers are today. So one question has been asked to me, what is the difference between organized and unorganized retail? So how retailers are getting organized? What is the fact that is actually differentiating to identify, okay, this retailer is organizing? So these are the major types of the task critical to their organization's success. So organized. So I'm saying that any moment of a store nearby you cannot be or come into the modern trade. If they have clear vision, okay, I want to open 5 stores, or I want to open 100 stores in different areas by the year 2020 with the target of this. So they have a vision, come up with this vision and follow their and action follows to that vision. So these are things they have a strategic. So of the thing like the strategic management, merchant management. It's a customer. If I'm going to the retail store, if I expect that retailer would sell me the merchandise, for example, if I go to the shop, I'm expecting, okay, I'll get a Levi's brand over there. If I'm not getting, then something is wrong into that retailer. If they are saying me in the advertisement that I can get a Levi's over there, if I don't get, then the management is not proper, right? Branding is not well. So these factors actually that makes the retailer success. Channel management, which channels that retail wants to operate. Probably the nearby unorganized retail shop, they are only a physical retail store. But with the modern trade, no. You can buy from their retail shops, you can buy a product from the retailer's online shop, you can buy the product from their online website and pick it up from the retail stores. You product from their physical stores and let them deliver to your doorstep. So it's number of things actually that makes the retailers organized. Channel management, it's not like only the physical stores. How they are becoming the omni-channel and how they are actually offering ingredients to the customers. How they are managing the employees well, how they are doing the marketing, how they are offering the different services, facilities they are offering to the store. So probably I doubt, like, if you go to the retail store, like nearby retail store, are you getting, I would say, are they doing the marketing activities? I doubt, no. It is more a personal one-to-one relation. But big bazaar or Shopper Stop or Walmart or Decathlon, you find a big holding over there. They're having the big budget for their administrative management. They are having the policies to maintain their employees' HR policies. Supply chain management is another very critical factor. It's very itself it's a very big topic to discuss. In how to manage how the merchandising is coming from their suppliers to the distribution centers, in from distribution centers, how timely the right quantity it is going to the there it is going to different shops. So, managing the supply chain. So considering all these five factors make organized in influence their success. So consumers are again divided into different parts. So a few of the research has been done by multiple retailers and they come up that today's consumer, the millennials are very fragmented. They are very on go, discerning and interconnected. For I want to buy a laptop, but I thought, okay, I want to buy the Sony, I want to buy Dell, I want to buy Toshiba. So it is fragmented, right? I can buy it from Reliance Digital, I can buy it from Chroma, I can buy it another nearby mom and pop store. So they are fragmented. They are.
Please explain that the organized and unorganized in the channel management and merchant management with example.
So two are there. Let's come to channel management. What is channel management? Channel is something the platform from where the retailers offering the products or services to the retailer, to the customer. Okay. For the physical, like store, one of the channels, the online stores in the sense on website, the kiosk, the small retail shop that you can find in the malls, catalog, another channel where if you go into the hypercity, you might get catalog and you can take that catalog with you and you can order it from your home. So this management, like they are doing, okay, another thing as I told regarding the omni-channel presence, you buy on a store, you pick it up from their nearby physical stores and vice versa all the way. This management, this kind of channel management you will not find in the unorganized sector. They are mostly dealing either with one another. For example, a nearby retail store, they are having their own stores, they own one or two stores and they are happy with that. Right. They are not saying, okay, we all have an online website from where you can buy and you can pick up from our store. So kind of technology, they are not utilizing that. But organized retail is something that they are investing a lot into that and they are offering that experience to retailers. I don't know whether you have experience. So in the next slides I have given the tools also with what retailers actually use for managing their merchandise. The sort of at the right time, in the right quantity, in the right place. The essence of merchandising be shown to the shelf. Is it if I see merchandising is something? It's something the inventory that is the asset for the retailer. They can't put an item at a very high quantity, another where at a very low quantity. There is analytics running behind. They know that okay, this product should be in the same quantity. In which probably you might find okay, Lux soap 1 to 12 dozen at one store, but you go to the another store, this quantity could be 5 dozen. So they do the measurement, they deal with the market and based on the analytics, the quantity of that merchandising into the store shelf. So of management probably we would not find in the organized retail. Okay, when we do merchandising part, we would explain. I would try to explain the more into the depth of what are the calculations. There is a mathematics itself dealing with the merchandising. There are ratios. There are different calculations. I'll go through that as well when we talk about the financials of retail.
I have another question here. Like we are talking about organized and unorganized. So, which are the examples of the unorganized
again, like mostly what we consider, if you go through one of my presentation, I given the example of, you see the cooperative shops, the growth of cooperative shops, right? Take example of any, you go out of your home, you find number of shops, right? You get a shop of vegetable person, you get a shop of small hardware stores, you get a small drug stores, you may find a shop of a kirana grocery stores, anything that is not there. So the things, actually, when I talk about the 600 billion Indian retail market and only 8% of organized retail.
But I need to interrupt you here. I have a question. So you say that the small shops, which are the next door shops, they are not organized. But I see they are the most organized shop, because they know that the single person operates the entire shop, and they know that which medicine is where. If we go, he doesn't have to see any laptop computers or the iPad to see whether that medicine is there. He just go and know that where are the fever medicine, where are the headache medicine, and which are the other medicines are there. So they are perfectly organized. So how, on what basis we are saying that they are not organized?
So think, because that is possible because they are having only one store and they are dealing with a limited number of customers. About retail store having 100 different stores in the different geographies, where a different number of people are keep changing. Probably one retail store is store manager is at one store, he just changes the company and goes to another store. So it is not a people oriented. So probably store you go nearby, it is something the owner, he is dealing with that shop last 20 years, and he is one who is dealing with you personally, right? But retail is not like that. It is process oriented. It is technical oriented, right? It is oriented. It is not like, okay, as a retail, if I am the owner of a company, I never say, okay, I want only that store manager to be there. Okay, because need to be changed over time. I want people to be trained. I don't, okay, the only person to be owner of all the processes. Probably these are the process that defines what is organized and what store is unorganized. Coming to that part, I have one more slide to explain. I think that would help you to find out how further we can differentiate.
Thank you.
I would able to answer you the question like the right hand side, the bold one, more suitable for the organized sector, but not for the organized sector, right? So again, I give an overview. So influences retail success. There are a lot of when a retail store or when a person is starting their own retail shop or a retail company. On high level, what we think that a retailer that is the who following the trends, not following the change in the customer behavior, is the market. They are successful. There are examples. There are so many, right? I said one of the examples is Subiksha. They retailer in South. So they did very well. They had hundreds of stores, right? They had hundreds of stores, but they closed the shop. For example, there are multiple retail also. Like I'm sure, like you must have followed, closing down the stores of the Big Bazaar, closing the stores of More. Lance Fresh has closed their 250, 300 stores all around the world, right? So when what happened, when they were not able to change themselves with the market trend, the nearby geography, they are able to profit due to the competition. And retailers, big retailers coming nearby them, and they are offering the better services, better experience to the customer. There could be multiple reasons. So to get into that, what trends actually this and that retailers has to follow in order to be the successful. So key trends that is in the retail is that to add to the globalization. There is a big trend in retail industry. Multinational retailers are continuing to aggressively pursue their global expansion plan. Do you care? I would say let's take Domino's is offering the same kind of pizza in the US market they are offering in India? No, there is a big difference into the quantity, the quality, the size, the taste, the sizing. Have to the term called globalization and globalization. So how do you modify your product based on the need of that particular demography? So that and how do you expand your retail operations in the different geography, right? And that retailers are following multi-channel. You must be hearing a lot about the multi-channel marketing as one of the questions being asked regarding the channel management. Now every single retailer, I was working, one of the client that Indian retail client, I name of it. So they are only into the physical retailing. Within few months, they are coming in. You go to the shop, you will find the tablets in their shop, and you can buy products in the tablet in their shop. If you have to pick up, you just say, okay, I want this to be couried in my home, and they do that. They are with the technology. You scroll to their website, you the showroom, you say, boss, yesterday I was on your website and I found this product. Can you show me where is it in your store? I want to have a look. They would look at your profile and they would say, boss, this is the product you can find out at corner. So they're integrating their different channels to offer the best experience. That is the current retail trend. Number of retailers are getting into that. They are offering the multiple channel. They are offering coming into the omni-channel landscape. Okay, so the recommendation that we get into the retail store. I remember like when I was the retail store, I went and they told me to switch on my Bluetooth, and I switched on the Bluetooth and I got a list of few messages. Okay, last time when you come, you bought this. Are you okay to buy this product? We are having this in our store. So the recommendation and customer relevance is coming. You go to the website, they come up with number of recommendation. You just go and log in on Make My Trip. Okay, they would give you the flight ticket, what you have bought or what you have searched on another websites where you want to go and from which place to which place. Relevance is becoming very higher. Analytics. All is relevance is driven by the analytics. So for example, telecom retailer. So to mean everyone is having the same Airtel, for example, a connection, but the kind of messages that you would get, the offer you would get for retail from a telecom retailer, it probably would be different. Like the way the usage do for your phone, it could be different. Kind of analytics is involved there, outsourcing and cloud computing. So cloud computing retailers don't need to spend a lot infrastructure. They can easily take a cloud computing option and host their services to the different technical organizations. So the few retail that retail has to follow in order to be successful in. So the things is my observation, what makes a retail organized, or what are the things they have to do in order to be successful, right? So successful retailers have clear vision. What it, how many stores, what is the profit, what is the GMROI, what is the net sales, gross sales, all these things or figures are very clear to them. The plans they have a clear view on that. Success retailers evolve the offerings. They keep playing with offerings. Probably sometime if you go into one retail shop, if the merchandising is not doing good, they would remove it from their it and come up with something new. They now go to the retail shop and try to ask, okay, where is the Patanjali products are there? Few years back, they would not even keeping that product, but now they are giving it free and you would find it on the premium places, right? So they are changing, they are evolving the offering, they're changing themselves with the need. Plans. They have a big merchandising plans, operational plans, they execute them very efficiently and actively. They have a strong culture and set of values. Me being a retail employee, by being into the multiple retail organization, the kind of feeling I was feeling, the kind of experience I was having in the different organization was completely different. Right? So that's how they are their culture to deal with their employees and their customers. Even emotional and self-expressive benefits, right? They have so these things not always based on the experience. I can do it likely with probably my mom and pop stores who is dealing with me. Probably she is doing very good with me, but another user like come to the shop, he probably would not be give good input or would not be able to deal with that if it doesn't know me. But this is not the case with the retail organization, right? Having the data set, they are having a big data, they analyze the data and they deal, they recommend me product, they send me the messages, even though they don't know me the personally. So things like the address the real unmet need, how scale, successful retailers integrate social and the environmental programs into the successful retailers pay attention to their consumers and competitors. They think of the environment, they think about the social implications. The retailers are promoting themselves as the environment friendly. They are saying as a green retailers, we are the carbon emission from our retail shops is quite less. So these are things actually that keep coming up with the new processes. They keep developing the processor that would be helpful for the society, for consumer, and for the environment. So now, if you are doing well, you are doing sales, all the factors. There are a few other points highlighted in the bold, also a critical factors. So back to their community. Now in retail business cycle, so I tried to club everything what a retail organization has into one slide. Almost everything. Okay. Like we are already 1 to 5 or 10 minutes. Is it okay to if I can complete and take 10 more 10 more 15 more minutes? Hope it's too much because I'm also enjoying talking to you. Cool. Business cycle. So don't need to deep think from the high level thing. So retail is starting from the planning. How much merchant you want to buy? I quite smoothly this slide because this is the essence of the word of retail actually. We talk about lots of theory, but this is all retail about. So a retailer they plan, they take it in the sense they procure it, they move it in the retail. It's something the plan is something okay. The strategic planning comes into the picture, right? They do the marketing plan, supply chain plan. Once the plan is there, okay, I want to buy general merchandising, I want to deal into the general merchandising, I want to deal into the consumer. They plan it. This is it. Once they deal with vendors, okay, they make their sourcing plan. They like do the negotiation with the suppliers, the vendors, they buy it. So now when they buy it, they move it. It's over, they get this product from supplier to their distribution centers, in from the distribution centers to the retail stores. The last thing, when it comes to the store, they sit, right? In then the post-sale services. So go into this presentation, try to figure out what is vendor and deal management, purchase management. So I, being an IT guy, I have worked on the IT implementation project. So there is a different modules for every single block that you see on the screen. Technology that would deal with the vendor and deal management. There is a technology, there is a module that would work on costing and the purchase management, right? So they can like plan it, make it, buy it, move it, stores and then sell and service. These are the cycle retail stores. They get it to be more simple again, like they get the product from supplier, they move it to the DC, they send it to the store sells it, then provide the services. This typical retail cycles, what follow. I think this is the most self-explanatory topic, right? What is the importance of planning for a retailer? No doubt, for everything is very, very important. I have given one thing. Think about like come to shop. Imagine a manager coming to work and K is not there. Counter. He informed to the retail manager, okay, boss, I would not be able to come on that particular day because it's my birthday. That drives the traffic within the store. Like there will be a big line at the retail counter if you don't find the number of authorized retail POS, right? So there's a big line that particular day. If you didn't find the replacement and you just forgot that. The thing about that, don't care their employees. Don't plan their needs of the employees. They don't perform, they don't judge their performance, they don't play their like appraisals. So those things are very, very important. It's not about the merchandising plans or there's a planning of internal and the external stakeholders are very important. So I also in the last thing I have played like think how the merchandising planning can be done in the retail stores. It is not that easy that I want to keep only that particular merchandise. I want to keep only 15 to 20 shops into the right hand side of that first floor into the grocery section. This planning has to be done, right? Let's get into the merchandising planning. There are ratios has to be done. If it doesn't plan the ratios in the way, doesn't play with the algorithms, doesn't play with the data, everything would be cut off. You might at the end of the consumer would not be able to find out what they are looking for, and it's loss of sales, it's loss of opportunity, is loss of the customer. So like specific merchandising plan, retailer has to plan the receipt plan, the sales plan, marketing plan, markup plan, how much I want to make profit, markdown plan, that is called the discounts, inventory shortage. What happen if I sell it like on Friday rather than if I'm targeting to sell it to Sunday? How I would deal with the shortages, end of stock levels, week of supply, margins, stock turn. So all these are planning ratio, the terminologies that retailer has to plan in very clearly. Otherwise, it's big for the retailer to deal with the client. I have given few of the softwares from Oracle. They are offering for the planning. There is a software to deal with category management, item planning, merchandising, financial planning, demand forecasting. These are different softwares. An example of only Oracle. There are multiple companies, SAP, JDA, like they are having the softwares who helps retailer to take the right decision in also in the planning. Calendar. So most of us know about the Gregorian calendar, what we used to follow in our day-to-day life, like 31 days, and next month we have a 30 days and irregular Saturdays and Sundays. So in Jan I have 4 Saturdays and 4 Sundays, but in Feb I have only 3 Saturdays, Sunday kind of thing. So to do that, retailers for 4-5-4 calendar. So even actually its a quarter is divided into 3 equal unequal weeks. For example, 4-5-4 divides the year into 4 months, divide the months into 4 weeks. Month would be 5 weeks and 4 weeks. Retailer wants to compare the sales. Okay, last month in the first quarter, my sales for that product is or much. What is the sales now? If I follow the Gregorian calendar, that would not be. I don't know how many Sundays was there in the last month in the January. Okay, what of this month? This could differ and it would not give the accurate results. It would not, and this could hamper the planning of the retailer. So the 4-5 calendar Additionally, there are like few of the retailers I have seen internationally, they are going with the 4-4 calendars. Like it would a quarter would follow. First week would have 4 Saturdays and Sundays, then 4 and then 5. In them will like 5-4-4. Helps retailer to plan their inventory very well, sales analyst, and also the payroll. Deal with the payroll. Most things, what is great retail manager? I do answer, I am sure. I don't know whether really I have few of the great managers in my audience today. These are the things actually my observations, what makes a so there is a big difference between a manager dealing with the employees, a retail manager dealing with the employees, or a IT manager dealing with their employees, or manufacturing manager dealing with their employees. Let's talk about the retail managers. So these are questions, is my observations, is my learning that if great manager follows, he should be considered or she should be considered a great manager. So one good manager challenge employees to set new performance goals, to overcome performance issues, the employees to contribute to new ideas, take personal interest in their employees, they deliver well, the target from the higher management they have to delegate to different department managers or the store persons or the sales executives. Your priorities and direct directions very clearly. No doubt you have to do this today. I want the sales of this product by the end of this much. The target, they help them to achieve the target. The resolve conflicts in the very productive way. So they are there, a customer is coming to the stores and they have some problems. They come up, they deal with the conflicts for them. They're very professional manners. They inspire employees. Things I'm not see don't I am not included. Okay, the retail store should be profitable. Obviously, that thing should be there. If all these things and if still the retail organization is going into that, they will not consider. So, few general things that we deal with the day to day is always there. In retail and possibilities. So here I have taken two approach. I would help you to understand from the top to bottom and bottom to down, bottom top approach. So this speaks about top to bottom, how which are the departments are there into the retail business and which are the positions are there at the higher level or the higher management. This is generic, depends on the organization to organization, companies to companies, country to country. This could differ, but mostly these are the things that retailers follow. Businesses, supply chain, buying, merchandising, finance, sales and marketing, IT department, their company operations, human resources. So they have either the directors or the vice presidents for supply chain, buying, merchandising for every single domain. Then vice presidents or vice presidents that scale of the real organization. They have the like vice presidents have a vice president of logistics, then DC operations. A senior vice president for sales and marketing can have the vice president for marketing and communication. They have a trade and promotion planning. So the things actually there for the different department they have a vice presidents for different domains. We as a person who wants to get into the retail, how they get into. So this map that goes into the retail. That is where again most of it is almost true for none of the organizations. So person actually starts from either from the management and job, right? You can see in the chart like the southern in light. So he starts from the entry level job, he can get into the cashier, he can be a sales associate, he can be a receiving associate. Then it first goes into the different path. One is for the store and another one for the operation. So if in a store he can be the assistant manager, then or next role would be the store manager, then the senior store manager, assistant district. It has a different roles and responsibilities to the area that as we grow, we can understand. Right? Same way, another role is like on the left hand side, a sales specialist can be a senior sales specialist or department supervisor or loss and prevention supervisor, and it goes like that. So this would, if you take a time and read it, it would help you to understand the different hierarchies of the position that a retail organization follows. In the end, I'd really love to hear the questions. Can you just, if I can't see the chat box, I think I would okay to questions verbally, so that would be quite fast. That can you please ask the questions one by one? I'm 10 more minutes if you the questions. Hi, can you? I did the justice is one of the answer of being what the difference between organized and unorganized sector. I'm saying that any of the nearby mom and pop store cannot be organized. Yes, they can do that if they have merchandising management, channel management, in their process plan. If the owner gets changed, it shouldn't the shop shouldn't be closed, and they should be able to deal with the employees or the customer in the same way. So standard processes if they're following, yes, they could be part of retail chain. Hi. So one is that when a produce is bought from a farmer, the price too cheap, why they are not able to pass the benefits to the consumer instead of pricing is too high? Can you answer this question? Thing is different in retail. So retail is not is the farmers directly. They have mediators in between. If they are dealing with the farmers, still there are lots of operational expenses are there. They are not selling it. They have a big infrastructure. They have a retail shops, right? They are high rent on them. The employees whom they have to pay a higher level, higher wages, right? They are so lots of facilities. They are making it an experience buying experience for the store. So there are a lot of cost involved with every single decision they take, and it is a cost added to the product. So one of the reasons actually because of the high end, the operational expenses, a few of the reasons actually they cannot sell the same product what they are buying from the from the farmers. So are you good today? Any hi everyone. So can I just go on today? Okay, thank you so much. Thanks a lot for bearing me and hearing me. So tomorrow we would have a presentation for sales and service introduction for sales and services. I would have tried to do justice with that as well. Any feedback, anything you want to share, you can have a word with your like with your manager, and he would revert to me, and I will do that correction if I'm fast, slow, and whatever. Yes, presentations, yes, I would definitely share, and you would get it. Thank you much.